I'm back. I'm bored out of my mind. Yeah, so I'm alone today, and right now I would be racing at the track completely alone. Don't know what to do with myself. So, my mom, I told her that I'd cook her dinner if she came over because I just can't sit here and do nothing. So, she's going to come over, and so I'm going to make her dinner. I touched my face like 9 million times. Sorry. It's just me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to make the dinner that I'm going to make because I'm bored. So the dinner that I'm going to make a snack first. I'll show you what the snack is here in a minute. And then I'm going to make tuna melts, kind of like my mom used to make them when I was a little kid. And we're going to make some roasted veggies because I have some vegetables left over. And I'll talk about some other things. So, first things first, I'm going to use these shredded mini wheats. They're not shredded, but they're the little mini wheats. I became an owner of about 4 boxes of them, and I don't really eat them. So, I'm going to try something today to make them into a good snack. So, I've got a whole entire box in here in my bowl. And what I'm going to do is we're going to make kind of a trail mix, kind of a style sauce to go over it. So I've got my top oven preheated to 400. I have a foil lined baking sheet that I'm going to spray down with some olive oil spray. Just make sure it's greased. You can use butter, Crisco, whatever you want to grease that down. And I've got my pan on my stove. I'm going to turn my heat on. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a half of a cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Actually, this is olive oil. Hold on. So 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. A little bit more than 2, but that's fine. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, or whatever you say it, however you say it. Adds that kind of smoky flavor to everything. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which I have here. And then the seasonings for this, you can add different seasonings. The seasonings that I'm going to use for this are a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, half of a teaspoon of salt, and half of a teaspoon of cayenne. I'm going to add those to my bowl. I'm just going to use my tablespoon to mix this up here and incorporate the honey. And then I'm going to pour this into my pan. All we're doing with the pan is essentially melting the honey and making sure the honey is incorporated into the rest of the liquid. So I'm going to use a wooden spoon for that. It shouldn't take too long. Once it comes up to a boil, you're going to let this sit for about 30 minutes. Until we know that it's all incorporated. Turn that up a little bit. Alright, while I'm waiting for that to come to a little bit of a boil, I'm going to show you how we do our veggies here. So I'm going to do asparagus and little baby potatoes. So the asparagus, the best way to figure out where the woody stems are is hold one end in each pinched finger, bend, and it will snap at the woody part. Save these. Tomorrow morning I'm going to do a video showing you how to make a asparagus souffle using the woody ends. Alright, so this has come up to a little bit of a boil. Just going to stir that around really quick. Show you how to do these potatoes. All I do is I take the potatoes after you've washed them, cut them into quarters, when you cook vegetables, you want them all to be around the same thickness or the same size, because then they'll cook at the same time. Put that over there. This is done. It's come up to a boil. I don't know if you guys can see that. But all that does is it incorporates the honey into the liquid. So we're going to pour this over our mini wheats. Mix this in. Watch out, that apple cider vinegar is potent. We'll see how these work. I have a feeling that these are going to soak up this mixture fairly well. You can do this same trail mix using Chex Mix, using pretzels. I've seen people do this with, what are they called? Goldfish crackers. So I'm just going to mix this all up in here. Grab my tray. Spread it all out onto my tray. And that was my oven telling me that it reached 200 for these. Spread these out. And I'm going to pop these in a 200-degree oven for about an hour. So let me put my timer on before we move on to the next part here. Oops. Not 10 hours. 1 hour. There we go. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do our veggies. So I love asparagus. Asparagus is full of vitamin K, vitamin E, folic acid. It's a natural diuretic, so it's amazing for urinary tract infections, anything urinary, kidney issues, things of that nature. It's chock full of B vitamins, so B12. It's also chock full of B6 and folate, which are natural aphrodisiacs, but it's really good for a lot of things, especially, you know, reproductive, urinary tract, that kind of a thing. So we're doing asparagus, and like I said, I just snapped the ends off. I'm saving all of the ends to make that asparagus souffle tomorrow. And then I have a mixture of purple and small baby potatoes that I've just quartered, and I put onto a foil-lined baking sheet. This is so simple. You're just going to throw some extra virgin olive oil over the top of these. And then you're going to throw on your seasonings. So I'm using a mixture of this stuff. It's called Everything But the Bagel Seasoning. You can make it yourself, as well as some rosemary, sea salt, and black pepper. And so I'm just going to sprinkle all of my veggies with this. So the extra virgin olive oil is not only going to help you roast the veggies, but it's going to help the seasonings kind of stick to your veggies. So you want to get your hands in here and get them a little dirty, because what that's going to do is it's going to get that extra virgin olive oil all over all of your vegetables. And you want to make sure that they're all coated. And when you do this, you don't want your vegetables to be too crowded. I almost should put these on another sheet, this asparagus, but I'm just going to leave it alone for now. So all of my seasoning is on there. I can wash my hands. And we're going to put this in a 425-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Or until they're nice and golden brown and roasted. So let me put that timer on. All right, now the next thing that we're gonna make are tuna melts, kind of my mom's way. I didn't have any, I usually put celery in these for a little bit of crunch. I don't have any today, so we're gonna go without that. And I just realized that I forgot to get out my, my bread. So today, since I went to Westside Market, I am going to use this amazing sourdough bread. And I'm actually going to make 4 sandwiches just in case my dad wants one at home or possibly my mom wants 2. Need to get out some more foil. You always should have the basic utensils on hand. So foil is a good one. You know, just different baking needs. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 cans that I've already drained of tuna. Throw those in there. Throwing things into my prep sink. So 2 cans of tuna. We're gonna throw in some of my mayo here. I didn't want to put my tuna spoon in my mayo. So I've got about a heaping tablespoon, maybe a little bit more mayo per can. And I'm going to add in a little tiny splash of pickle juice that I keep around. This stuff is great. You can use it as a marinade for chicken breasts. You can use it for a lot of different things. And then kind of one of the key things that my mom and I do is we add in a little shredded cheese because that's actually going to melt into the tuna. And then we're going to put a piece of cheese on the sandwiches as well. This is where I would put in any veggies that you might want. Now we're going to bake these, so you want to make sure whatever veggies you put in are okay to be baked. So I'm going to take a piece of my foil, a little tiny bit of EVOO spray, not a lot, you don't need a lot, piece of my bread. We're going to do a half a piece of this amazing cheese that I picked up at Westside Market. It's called Havarti Rye, or Havarti, or you know, whatever you say it. But it has caraway seeds in it, and the caraway seeds make this really great, especially with the sourdough bread. You can do this with any type of bread. When I was little, we used to do it with hamburger buns. So put on some of your tuna mixture. Throw on the other top of your bread. Another little spray. We're going to wrap this up. And since I have the top oven already set to 425, I'm going to throw this in a 425 degree oven for approximately 10 minutes or so. And that's going to cook and melt and meld all of that together. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit from this video. I know it's not as long as I usually do. So we did tuna melts, which we're going to throw in the oven. We did roasted vegetables, which take about 15 to 20 minutes, set on 425. And then we did a kind of a trail mix or Chex Mix style shredded wheat. So if you guys have anything else, let me know. Tune in tomorrow when we use up these bad boys, the ends of the asparagus, to make some souffles. And tomorrow night, I'll actually be using more of my mini wheats that I have. And I'm going to be making meatloaf with the mini wheats. We're going to be making blueberry muffins with the mini wheats, and I'm also making zucchini fritters with the mini wheats. So those are the 2 videos that you have on store for you tomorrow. Hopefully everybody is getting through this quarantine okay. Hopefully everybody is enjoying my videos. Like I said, let me know if you have anything that you would like me to post about. We did the bread today in the crock pot. I'll show you that really quick. So this is from my past video. So this is the bread from the crock pot. It looks really nice. The only thing that we've kind of decided is when you cook bread in a crock pot, it steams more than it cooks, which is really good for cakes, not as much for bread. So the bread has more of a cakey, sort of dense texture to it than an actual bread would. But I'm sure that this would be great for possibly toasting, or you could put it in a bread salad, or even use it for croutons. Put it in a bread pudding, something to that extent. So let me know if you guys need anything, and I will talk to you later. Bye.